Hi everyone, this is Mr. Mark with the Tonytown Library bringing you another cooking video. This week we're going to be doing something that our family only discovered recently that I thought was really interesting. 2-ingredient biscuits. To make these, all you need is self-rising flour and heavy whipping cream. Now, I will note that white lily flour is supposed to be the best type for biscuits, so if you can, you might want to get that. But any kind of self-rising flour should be okay. It's just important that it's self-rising. So we're going to be making a small batch today. We're just going to be using a cup of flour and half a cup to 3/4 of a cup of heavy whipping cream. So let's get our flour first. And the proper way to get flour into one of these measuring cups is to fluff the flour up with a fork and then spoon it in, but I'm not going to bother with that. I never do. I'm just going to reach in, scoop up a bunch, and scrape off the top. The reason you don't want to do this is because it can pack the flour in there. But even if we do, it's not that big a deal. You can just add a little bit more whipping cream. So we're going to go ahead and put a cup in here. Put the flour to the side. Real quick note, you want your oven heated to about 450 degrees. I'm going to be using a toaster oven today, but you can always use a regular oven. Now we're going to add the heavy whipping cream. Like I said, half a cup is the minimum. So we're going to pour that in there, and then a little bit more. And all we're going to do is take a fork and mix it up. And you want the result to be a slightly sticky dough. Just a little sticky. If it's too sticky, you can add some more flour. If it's not sticky enough, you can add some more whipping cream. If you have too much just plain flour in there. Yeah, we need a little bit more whipping cream. Let's try that. All right, just mix in that whipping cream. Seems good to me now. So we're going to bring it out and put it on our cutting board, but first we want to sprinkle some flour on there just to make it nice and smooth. Now what we want to do is fold this over just 2 or 3 times. Fold over and press down. Alright, now I'm going to make a little ball here. Press it down. I'm actually going to take a rolling pin. You can do this with your hands, but I like to use a rolling pin. Put some flour on there so it doesn't stick. And we just want to flatten it till it's about 1/2 inch thick. I have a little measurer here. That's good. You can do anywhere from 1/2 inch to 1 inch, depending on how thick you like your biscuit to be. Now we're going to cut our biscuit. And there's a number of ways you can do this. There are special biscuit cutters like this, where you can cut out circles. We're just going to be using a cutter like this, and we're going to make triangles. But if you don't have anything like that, you can even just use a regular spatula. Just press it straight down and lift it up. The important thing when cutting biscuits is you want to go straight down and straight up without twisting at all. All right, so we're just going to cut our biscuit straight down and straight up. Then let's go here, straight down and straight up. this. There we go. Just making sure it's separated from the board there. Alright, and they're ready to go in the oven. Now, you can just use a baking pan covered with Pam if you want. We're going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be using a pie plate because you can see it's just the right size. And to prevent any sticking, we're going to use a bit of parchment paper. I'm going to put this in here and press down so I know where the edges are. And cut out that circle. You can see it fits right in there in the bottom. Alright, we're going to transfer these over. You actually want them touching a little bit. It helps them rise better. And it's ready to go in the oven. If you're using a regular oven, it might take 8 to 12 minutes. We're using a toaster oven, so it might take a little longer. If you're making a bigger batch, you could probably be wanting to use a baking sheet instead of a pie plate like this, but then you'd probably have to spread it out and use one of these to cut little biscuit circles anyways, instead of the way I showed you. We like to do this because this is just enough for one dinner. We're going to put it in the oven, and we're going to wait until it's all golden brown to take it out. Pop it in here. And I'll let you know when it's done and show you the result. Alright, it's been a little over 20 minutes now, so my biscuits are done. I'm going to take them out. I almost dropped them because the glove's a little slippery, and you can see I squished that one a little bit. But we have our biscuits a nice golden brown, and they're going to be flaky and delicious. You can see, it's real easy to make biscuits. You only need 2 ingredients and less than half an hour. I hope you enjoyed this video. Join us next week for another episode of What's Cookin'.